In a distant village nestled on the slopes of the Carpathian Mountains, where the air is pure and the nature is enchanting, there stood an old, abandoned castle known as Bran Castle. Everyone feared approaching it, not only because of its terrifying appearance but also because of the legends surrounding it. It was said that the castle was haunted by the spirit of Dracula, the cursed prince who lived centuries ago. Dracula was a cruel and bloodthirsty prince, known for his unnatural obsession with blood. He ruled with an iron fist and practiced demonic rituals to gain power and immortality. After his death, it was said that his spirit did not rest, but remained in the castle for centuries, seeking new victims to torture and drain their blood. On one dark night, with the wind howling fiercely, a group of adventurous young men decided to sneak into the castle. The group consisted of 5 friends: Michael, Thomas, Vlad, Jan, and Jack. They sought to uncover the truth behind the legend and did not believe the stories told about Dracula. They thought these tales were just folklore meant to scare people. When they reached the castle gate, the tall trees surrounding the place seemed to protect it from prying eyes. The full moon illuminated the path with its silver light, but the shadows seemed to dance strangely, adding to the eerie atmosphere. John pushed the door open with difficulty, causing a terrifying creak. They entered the castle, where the air was damp, filled with the smell of decay and dust. The inside of the castle was strangely dark, with no moonlight reaching the interior. They used their flashlights to guide their way. The walls were covered with old drawings of demons and angels falling from the sky, while the floor was coated with dust and ash. As they wandered through the castle's corridors, the deeper they went, the more they felt as if eyes were watching them. They reached a large room where they found a huge coffin made of ebony wood, adorned with strange symbols. The coffin was open, and inside was a corpse wrapped in a red cloth, but the body seemed untouched by time. Suddenly, the corpse moved, and Dracula opened his terrifying red eyes. They all stood petrified, unable to move. Dracula spoke in a soft, cold voice. "You have awakened me from my slumber, and now you will pay the price." They tried to escape, but Dracula was faster. He managed to grab Vlad and sank his fangs into his neck, while the others screamed and tried to flee. Michael, the strongest among them, attempted to confront Dracula with a small knife he carried, but Dracula was unfazed. His body was unnaturally sturdy, as if the knife did not affect him. Michael, Thomas, and Jack fled the castle, leaving John and Vlad behind, but they did not know that the castle was cursed, and anyone who entered it could not easily leave. As they tried to reach the gate, the shadows pursued them. The closer they got to escaping, the thicker the shadows became, as if preventing their escape. Finally, they reached the gate, only to find themselves back in the same room where they had left Dracula, John, and Vlad. John lay dead on the floor, and Vlad had disappeared. Dracula screamed, "You will not escape me. My fate is to live forever, and you will stay with me to become part of my curses." Jack tried to flee, but he tripped and fell, giving Dracula the opportunity to pounce on him. Michael, realizing there was no escape from the inevitable fate, stood facing Dracula and said, "If you are going to take my life, then do it now, but know that I will not fear you." Dracula smiled a wicked smile and said, "Courage will not save you, but it may grant you a quick death." In an instant he lunged at Michael, but suddenly a powerful light appeared from the sky, like a lightning bolt striking the castle. Dracula recoiled in pain, while the castle began to collapse around them. The ground shook and the walls cracked, as if the castle was responding to some external force. In the last moment, Thomas and Jack managed to escape through a small window hidden behind heavy curtains. They emerged outside to find the castle had completely collapsed. They stood panting, watching the rubble, but there was no sign of Dracula. They sighed in relief, but they knew this was not the end. They felt that Dracula's spirit was still alive, and that the castle was just a part of his power. They returned to the village but never spoke of what happened that night. Each carried the experience with them until the end. Over time, stories about Dracula and the curse of the castle spread again, but only a few knew the truth, and they knew that Dracula could return at any time, seeking new victims on another dark night.